Alright, One Wrench Rodeo fans, we are back. Last time we tore apart a cylinder. This time, we're going to put it together. I'll explain to you how this works. On this particular cylinder, not all hydraulic cylinders are like this. And that's just because that's the way it is. It's two-pieced. This is the threaded end. This would be your dust seal. There's a ring that you dig out of right here, and then you turn this, and it brings out your lock. It's a very fine piece of square, rectangle kind of spring steel. And what that does is that turns on out, and then you pull it up out. That comes apart. Now you can clean your mating surface, and then you can install your seals easier. Just trying to fold this heavy rubber seal up like a pretzel and taking it down that bore, hold on here, let me get you, would almost be impossible. Trying to take it down through there. Now on the bigger ones you can do that absolutely just fine. That backing seal, put in your sealing seal, which goes in this direction. So here's this would be your rod extension side. It has to go in to where the hydraulic oil can push on the back side and swell that out as it's trying to extend, because that's normally when you're doing, the most work, I guess. Alright, that's pushed down in. Now you can go back to putting this together. And it's, in this situation, make sure that's compressed the whole way. Right, there you line up a hole here. Put that in there like that. You get it started with that square spring steel lock. I don't know if you'll be able to see this here. Alright, we are working right here in the vise. Clamp that down in the vise. Grab it with a pair of pliers. She'll roll right in. Alright. That's all that needed to do. Okay. So now that's held together nicely. In some situations, there's a bushing in here that needs replaced. Mine is in good enough condition for an old farm machine that this is. So I don't get to show you how to do that. Your dust seal, one direction, and this one is extremely simple. Sometimes they're like a lip seal, and you just tap them in with a hammer. Sometimes they have a snap ring that you have to move out of the way. Mine just pops into a machined ring. Boom, she's installed. So basically, other than your O-rings here, we're good to go. One hydraulic gland that is ready to be reinstalled into the cylinder. We just got to lubricate it, because you got to make sure that it has some lube. Alright, let me grab the cylinder, the rod, we're going to set it in here, and we will start putting the piston together. Dump her on in there, swirl it around. Make sure you have clean hands. If not, the oil pulls all the dirt out of your skin. that is a very good seal. It's actually fighting me to go onto the rod. There it goes. There. That is how you know you had a nice tight seal. So boom, abracadabra, that's done. We dropped the dang cushion valve though in the process. Boom, gland's done. Onto this here piston. Now this old piston's two-piece, like an old case. There might be other makes and models that ran two-piece. Just I know that I've seen cases that were two-piece. Maybe some New Hollands along the way. I don't know. You have these wider flat seals. Well, they're not seals. These are actually guides, and these keep the piston straight and keep it from rocking, and then the back one or the front one will be a softer material to allow brass, metal, any foreign contaminants in your hydraulic system to impregnate into it and keep it from moving it throughout the system. Alright. There's a small nick right here that was not in there when I tore this apart. It must have been dropped in shipping. But to fix that, this is 150 grit sandpaper. Don't go hog wild and make a big flat spot. Just enough. Your fingernail you really don't catch it no more. I don't remember the stick cylinder being like that. Get over here and take a look. You gotta see for yourself. So this has got your actual sealing ring with like a rubber bushing to keep it expanded out. It needs to go on to here. Like such. Just put it on there. It just does not want to go on in harmony. Oh, I think we might have got it. Camo. Go. You can do this, young lady. Alright, so that's on. Let's put these split rings on. Alright. There we go. Little time and patience pays right off. This O-ring sets something right there. Dirt. Sits in there like that. This can be replaced. Alright, so in this situation, these are the same diameter, the same thickness. In some situations, these can be thicker or thinner, and they command to be put back into their proper machine ring that they live in. And that's just the way she's got to go. Alright, that goes like that, and there you go. You have one piston, or one two-piece piston, assembled, sealed, to be reinstalled. Now let's get you pointed back out the door here. Alright, what we need something to clean this off because it fell on the floor. Alright, there's that. Now this goes one way. So if you tear one of these apart, you need to watch how this goes. Now in this situation, you can see the lining from where the cushion valve is touching this when it bottoms out, and you can see where the nut was touching. So go like that. Oh, that O-ring's back again to bother us. I like to try to not just shove O-rings on them, because that's how they get rolled, and pinched and torn and cut. So you kind of just work that up on there, then install that. And go ahead and put this nut on. I do believe we got to stop for a second and find the wrench that I used to take this apart with. Alrighty now. So I went and got the wrench we needed, 1 5/8". This is a castle nut, so you're going to have to put your cotter key through it. So just go ahead. And start beating it down. Just a wee little bit more. Alright, you're only going to be able to get her so tight. And that hole is lined back up in that castle nut, and I have a feeling that piston will not be backing off anytime soon. I think that is most certainly tight enough. Or tight o nut. I gotta find a cotter key that fits that hole. I forgot about that. Alright. We got that cotter key in there. I just went ahead and did that real quick. Now for the toughest part of the whole entire job. Actually putting the piston into the bore without tearing your seal. This is always nerve-wracking. This is not ever fun. Gotta find somewhere to set this down. I like to put some oil on that. Let's just go ahead and cinch this down in there. Just dump this oil out of this rod, or out of this bore. So the inside of this board is tapered. It is designed to be able to accept this here rod. That's good for it. There. Little tappy tap. And she's into the rod. And she's into the cylinder. Now, put the whole thing back into the vise. Hook your redneck rod holder back up. And start trying to drive that up in there. Boom. That's done. For some reason, these don't get tightened ridiculously tight on that gland. They're just kind of like tight enough. Get a hold of a Grandpappy's old rigid crescent wrench, or pipe wrench. Alright, I call that good. For whatever reason, these aren't, this particular one isn't super tight. You know, you might run into some that are super tight. That's good. Just, this one's literally lined back up to the original spot where they ping it. With my screw chisel, there's literally a ring machined in the end of this for that. You're supposed to ping it into there, and then you're good to go. What would you find people say if we went and installed this onto a machine and proved that I actually made a repair? Because telling you how and showing you how doesn't mean anything if I didn't actually do it. I'll see you over at the machine. Here's the little victim. Little SKO 25. put your fingers where you wouldn't put your Peter. That was easy. Alright, cylinder's on. All we have to do now is tighten up the pins, the retaining bolts, hook up the hydraulic lines, and then we will move the machine and prove that we have actually made a repair. By right sized wrench, I meant 2 crescent wrenches. So just kidding. This thing has a parasitic draw in it somewhere that likes to drain my battery dead, and I don't appreciate that, so we just disconnect the battery. Now the first thing you want to do is not just try to raise that boom as fast as it can go. You got to get oil on both sides of the piston, because if not, what will happen is that rod will extend so fast and it can actually ignite the air inside that cylinder just like a diesel engine does and burn that sealing ring, which then you'll end up with a drifting issue or just a not sealing issue. Well, that's how easy it is. There ain't nothing to this mechanic stuff. Let me take a look at the... Look at that. Got a drop of oil on there. So. Hey guys, if you really like working with this mini excavator and equipment, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for all that are subscribed and are staying subscribed. You're the best. There's gonna be a lot more to come. So we have to do a main relief valve in that new Honda skid steer. At some point, I'm not really looking forward to it, but that has to be fixed. We're going to do an oil change on this thing. I think that'll be the next video, is this service on this. And get it ready, because it's going to go dig some water lines from the girl I know. That's it. Now we're just going to turn the oil up and we'll do that in another video. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. I learned something. So, till next time.